Hey, English 079. Let's talk about what we're doing this week. This is week 6, and your next essay project has begun. So you should have handed in your essay 1 to Comp 1, and now we're working on handing in. We're I guess getting ready to work on this essay 2. Now, last week you've already started, right? You've already started. You're ahead of the class, really, because you've already read one of the 2 required readings for this essay. And this week in essay or in English 079, we're going to finish the second reading. So let me share with you my screen real quick, and then real quick on the syllabus. Let's see, this week's syllabus. Which one of these? Oh, I'll just download it again. So this week's syllabus is basically, it's pretty simple what we're doing this week. All I want you to do for English 079 is what you should be doing pretty much for Comp 1 anyway, except for you're going to add one little thing, right? So if you take a look at week 6, it's the critical reading activity number 4, and you're going to complete your journal number 5. So your reading guide, okay? So you're going to read that second reading, which is Sherry Turkle's Growing Up Tethered. That is in your textbook. So just take a look in your textbook. You'll find Growing Up Tethered in the table of contents. It's not too hard to find. And I want you to read that. And then you're going to do what we've done for all the other readings so far, what we're going to do for all the readings this semester. And basically you're going to fill out that reading guide. So again, the reading guide is right here in that reading guide file folder. You open that up and you download the reading guide. And again, you're going to just fill this out. And with these, I'm hoping you're starting to see kind of what we do, right? Who is the author? Just Google her, is Sherry Turkle, write a little something about the author. Who's the author's intended audience? Well, okay, it's probably people who are concerned about our well-being as a species, right? And I don't want to give any spoilers or anything like that, but I just want you to know that she's talking about that she's kind of concerned that young people seem to be, and just people just in general, but she focuses specifically on young people, maybe fairly, maybe unfairly, that she's focusing on young people, but she's focusing on how technology seems to really dominate young people's lives. Okay, so the intended audience might be that she's talking to other people of her own age. Hey, look at all those young people out there. I don't know. You need to read it and decide, who do you think she's writing to? Maybe she's writing to younger people, okay? Or maybe it's not even an age thing. Maybe she's just writing to people who are concerned about the human race. What are we doing, right? So you take a look at the outline, just like before. How does she introduce the topic? How does, with the thesis statement, and it might not actually be a specific sentence that you're going to point to that, hey, this is her specific thesis statement. But early on in her article, you're going to understand what her opinion on the topic is. You're going to have the topic, okay, I'll just give this spoiler away. The topic is the use of electronics by young people. And then what is her opinion on that topic? So you can put it in your own words here, or maybe you'll find a sentence that you believe really encapsulates what her opinion is, and you can put that there. Then in the body, of course, the same thing we did on the last one, you're going to want to do that again. And I can't really show you my book, right? But you can see in the reading that there are subheaders, just like there were subheaders for our last reading, Love in the Age of Like. Well, guess what? When you see subheaders, that's a big clue to you so that you can say, oh, well, there's a subheader. Well, that means this area is probably just talking about one thing. That's probably a whole section about that one thing that's described in the subheader. Cool. Well, there's another subheader here. Great. Well, that's probably everything. There's little details and things I'm going to put for the little A, B, and C, but that's all encapsulated in this section. Oh, there's another subheader. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and fill out this part. What is this author talking about in that specific part, in that subheader, that section, and so on and so forth. And then in the conclusion, what is her eventual conclusion? How does she close? Okay. Does the author address opposing views? Well, that's interesting. Maybe she does. In this particular reading, I would encourage you to look for opposing views. This particular author does sort of do that. So you're going to want to find that. If so, list the paragraphs. And again, if you, again, just kind of to back up, guys, the fact that you're doing these, right? The whole goal of this class is so that we take a little bit more time thinking critically about critical aspects of our readings and our writing, right? That's the whole point of this class. So the fact that you're doing this, the fact that you're actually thinking critically, that's what it's all about. I'm not going to judge your answer specifically on is it right or is it wrong. I just want you to really think it through and to write what you think the answer is. What is the author's tone or attitude? Hey, does she have an attitude about how technology is being used? And as those young people, man, those darn young people. And the author's purpose in writing this piece. Why do you think this author decided to write this piece? Is it to inform, entertain, persuade? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's probably, she thinks she's informing people about something. Maybe she really is. But I also think she's persuading people. Why do you think she's trying to persuade people? Is she trying, what is it? What is it she's trying to persuade people to do? And so just think about those things. Is there evidence of propaganda or bias in the article? Well, she might be a little biased. She grew up in a time before electronics were so dominant in society. And maybe it's hard for her to see the difference between the things that dominated her time versus the things that dominated the present time. Or maybe not. You need to decide, okay? Critical thinking, just think it through. You need to be the detective. You need to really think it through. Does the author use emotion? So anecdotes, case studies, personal experiences. Yeah, she does, okay? She tells some stories about some people, and that is yes, that's a yes. If so, how does this happen, right? How persuasive is the author? So are those stories persuasive? Are those stories things that really helped the author make her point more strongly to her readers? Okay, talk about that in just a minute. Write 4 to 8 small sentences, a personal response to this article. Well, guess what? That's what your whole essay is about. So this will be a great word for you to get started, because essay 2 is a response to the article that you're reading. So maybe it's this one, maybe it's Love in the Age of Like, but for both of these, we do need to fill this out. And then of course, if you didn't understand a word, make sure to look those up and put them there. Okay, so that is half of your homework for this class. I mean, this class, really, we're trying to supplement, we're trying to improve our understanding of the readings and the writing for Comp 1. So that's half of all you have to do this week for English 07-9. So pretty simple there. The other thing is to complete journal number 5. Well, that's super easy. We already know how to do that. So you go to your reflective journals, click there, and you're going to go down to journal number 5, read it. And you already know how to do these. You guys are really doing a great job. Some of you guys need to catch up, okay? But most of you guys are doing a fantastic job. Just click there, and then you can write submission, just type it in the text box, and that's all you need to do, okay? And then, so get that done and do your reading guide. Of course, we're in week 6, so you're going to hand in your reading guide here by the end of the week. So reading process guide number 4. So that is all we're doing this week. And really, I want you to try to get this done as early as you can, because by the end of this week for Comp 1, you need to figure out, you need to be started on this essay process, okay? You need to be started on like, okay, what am I going to respond to? Your brainstorming, clustering, free writing, that you're doing for Comp 1. And then, of course, you're going to also be doing audience awareness, and you're also going to be starting your outline. So get English 07-9 stuff done first this week. Then that's going to help you on your Comp 1 stuff. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me or reach out. I'm more than happy to help. Whenever you reach out to me, please make sure you tell me what class you're in and what class you have questions about. Try to be really specific so that I can be really specific and really help you well whenever I write back to you. If you need to meet with me on Monday, like I'm recording this on a Monday, Mondays, I'm usually in my office, for my virtual office at some, in some way. I even carry around my laptop with me a lot of times, or I'll even have it on with my phone. I try to make sure I'm available to you between the hours of 8 to 3 every Monday. Of course, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the 8 a.m. hour, I'm in the virtual office. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays between 1 and 2, normally I'm in there. but you always have to make sure to check with me before. Don't assume I'm going to be in my office on Tuesdays and Thursdays during those times. Just always make sure you have an appointment. Lots of you guys have been doing that already, and I really appreciate it. And many of you guys have been regular visitors to my office, and I really do appreciate that, because that shows me, and that allows us, hey, if you have questions, there's nothing wrong with having questions, and there's nothing wrong with being confused. I can't read your mind, so make sure that you're letting me know in a clear, concise way and a friendly way. Right? We're friends here. You don't have to be like, I don't get it. Period. All these things. You don't have to give me attitude, but say, hey, can you help me with this? And I'll be more than happy to help you. All right, guys, I hope you have a great week, and I will give you a reminder this Friday of everything that needs to be handed in by Friday. Good luck on everything. Time to get started.